Hey, 42 here. Although this may make you want to smack your head against a wall repeatedly, the fact of the matter is, everything is maths. From your phone to your house. The tiny particles that everything is made of and the giant swirling galaxies that dot the infinite universe. All of that is based on numbers. But before you start throwing tomatoes at the screen, as you are part of the large majority of people who hate numbers and their evil behaviour, don't worry, no formulas or tests today. It's strange though, isn't it? The anger towards something that is so vital to our lives and that mathematicians are seen as strange wizards with their nerdy number magic. So today we look at magic numbers that rule your life. Let's start with a nice, safe one. 10. We all like 10. It's the girl next door of mathematics. You get 10. You know 10. 10 is your friend. But why is this? Why are we so comfortable around those lovely rounded 10s, 20s and 100s, but it all gets so murky when you veer away from them? Well, the simple answer is habit. The only reason we work in 10s is because we have 10 fingers, and it just became common practice to do it like that. These are called bases. A base is just how you decide to group your numbers. We work in base 10, so you have the numbers 0 to 9, and then if you add one more to 9, then you complete a group of 10, and so you move on to the next group. So if we worked in base 4, for example, you'd have the numbers 0 to 3, and then when you add one more, you complete a group of 4. We feel like 10 is logical, but an alien society is just as likely to work in some other base. It wouldn't be a problem though, we could easily translate it into our friendly looking 10s. Many cultures have used other bases, either partially or completely. French, for example, mixes in base 20 with base 10. 99 is 99, but translates as 4 20s and 19. The Oxampin people of New Guinea have a base 27 counting system, with each number being named after a separate body part, which is how they keep track of things. So I'll have ear apples, elbow carrots, and belly button slices of bacon, please. Probably the most important number of all time is 0. It seems like such an obvious thing to us, but it was missing from many early counting systems. The Sumerians were the first people to develop a counting system, but it was all about keeping stock of cattle and horses, so you didn't need a number for something that you didn't have. It was Brahmagupta, an Indian mathematician from the 7th century, who formalized 0 by representing it as a dot underneath a number. He also wrote rules about how to use it. It reached the West through trade from Arabia, with the Arabian mathematicians making great advances in many areas of mathematics. The word 0 itself is from Arabic, along with algebra, algorithm, and average. Without 0, we never would have been able to create binary code, which gave us computers. So life would be very different today. I would probably be shouting all these facts in some town square somewhere, and then maybe burnt as a witch. Can you tell me what these numbers have in common? 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19. That's right, they are prime numbers. A prime is a number that only divides by 1 and by itself. We don't include 1 as a prime. Now, for non-mathematical people, you might think, who cares? Why does everyone talk about prime numbers like they are so important? The thing is, prime numbers are like elements in chemistry. They are the building blocks that everything is made of. 2, 3, 5, these are just like hydrogen, helium, lithium, and so on. Every non-prime, or composite number as they are called, can be made by multiplying 2 prime numbers together. 15, for example, is 3 by 5. 94 is 2 by 47. What's more, all even numbers are the sum of 2 prime numbers. 94 is 89 plus 5. The multiplication of primes may just sound like a dull quirk of mathematics, but it has a very real benefit for us internet users. Security. Multiplying 2 primes together might be easy, but working backwards is very, very difficult. If I give you a number and tell you to work out what primes it's made up of, you basically have to try out all the combinations until you find the correct ones. There is no formula. If it's a small number, that's not so bad, but when you get up into something that's hundreds or thousands of digits long, good luck with that. So, internet security, which is active when you see HTTPS at the beginning of a web address, uses this quirk of mathematics to encode your sensitive data. You need the correct key in order to solve the prime multiplication problem each time. Finding new prime numbers can be a rewarding business, since there are a range of prizes on offer, with hundreds of thousands of dollars being offered for ones over 100 million digits long. The current record holder for the world's largest prime number was only just discovered in January 2016, and the number itself is over 22 million digits long. Although we picked 10 because of what our hands look like, there are some other numbers that are important throughout the universe, such as 3.14 or pi. Carl Sagan, the famous astrophysicist, wrote a novel, Contact, which became a big movie. When humans find the number pi in a radio signal from the stars, we know it's a sign of intelligent life, because this number must be universal to everyone, regardless of how many fingers the alien species has. Pi is actually quite a simple concept. If you take a circle and divide its circumference by its diameter, then you always get the same answer, because this is just the ratio that makes up a circle. It's everywhere: car tires, Coke cans, actual pies, and Carl Pilkington's impressively round face. And it has been invaluable to engineering advances for thousands of years. Pi, not Carl Pilkington's face. There are other constant numbers like e, which is 2.718, that is used for many things, but famously on working out interest in banking. I'm sure we all have a lot of interest in banking. But one constant that is much more exciting is phi, the golden ratio. The number is about 1.618, and it's all about proportions. Take a rectangle. If it is a perfect rectangle, then the long side will be 1.618 times longer than the short side, the golden ratio. The reason we're so interested in it is that it seems to appear in nature all the time, especially when you apply it to spirals, the seeds of a sunflower, the swirl of a galaxy, pine cones, hurricanes. These all obey the golden ratio. You can see examples of the golden ratio in ancient buildings and a huge number of paintings. It's often been suggested that it is the number of pure beauty, and that a face with features matched in the golden ratio is going to be the most universally popular of all. So make sure you have a ruler out ready next time you're on Tinder. Even if you are one of the many people who would rather lick a toilet bowl than work out a percentage, it's good to know that maths is out there doing its job, even without your help and your appreciation, you ungrateful little monkey. And of course, even though it's not on the list, all of us know which number is really the secret answer to the universe, don't we? Thanks for the view, subscribe for more, add the 3, divide by 7, that's it. Subscribe for more, 42. Normally, governments combat obesity with hopeless advertising campaigns and even taxing junk food. But Japan went the extra mile and simply made it illegal to be fat. Do you ever hear a noise? Not a bump in the night per se, but a hum.